What's happening, you guys? Alright, today is 7th of June again, the same day as the previous vlog. We are on eastbound US 70, just a little bit north of I-40, and also not too far east of Asheville, North Carolina. If you go right on the other side of, just east of Asheville is a mountain called Black Mountain. Some of you guys who are truckers or from the area might be familiar with that one. Right on the bottom end of the east side of Black Mountain, on the other side of the mountain from Asheville, is where we pick up US 70. Now, there was a road closure at the off-ramp to 70, so I had to use a detour route. This is actually the regular part of 70 here. It was just, not a very long detour that I had to use. Fun times there. The road was just barely wide enough for a truck, and I had another truck coming the other way at me, and I felt like I was back on some of the state routes in Missouri or Oklahoma. I think mainly Missouri. But, yeah, it can be a little hair-raising when they're just barely like 9 feet or so wide lanes or whatever they are, just barely wide enough for my truck to fit on. And don't forget my mirrors stick out. Anyway, what are we doing today? We are on our way to pick up a reload. And this one will be picking up at Baxter Healthcare in Marion, North Carolina. And it'll be my first time picking up there. I have no idea what exactly I'm picking up. I don't know if it's pharmaceuticals or something else. Now, Baxter is a very well-known, a large company. A lot of people might not recognize them, but I do, because they are I can't remember if they're still in it, but they at least were an S&P 500 constituent, and all of the S&P 500 companies are larger publicly traded companies that have a minimum, they're supposed to have a minimum market cap of $8.2 billion. And basically, a lot of you guys probably are like, what the hell does that mean? Well, market capitalization is what it stands for, and it's basically just what you get when you multiply a share price by how many shares there are available to trade by the public. That's basically what it amounts to. So, now 8.2 billion is the minimum to even be in the S&P 500, and the largest companies in the S&P 500 are actually up more than over $2 trillion, actually even over $3 trillion now. Way bigger. But either way, it's 8 billion is still a large company, really large. But that's who we're picking up from. I'll figure out when I get there what exactly we're there to pick up. I doubt it's pharmaceuticals, but I could be wrong. I used to pick up pharmaceuticals for Sear England down in Laredo. They usually tended to run those up to Columbus, Ohio. And let me tell you, I hate those loads. Those are sensitive loads where you have to run like 200 miles before you can even stop with the load. And you have a monitoring company following you everywhere you go. They follow you on a remote GPS at all times, and you have to stay on the exact route that they tell you to use. And if you go off the highway for anything, even just to a truck stop to take a piss break or switch seats or whatever with your co-driver or trainee or whatever, you have to actually call them and tell them you're stopping for this reason. And then when you're ready to roll again, you call them again and tell them, hey, we're getting rolling again. So sometimes with those kind of loads, those high theft loads or whatever, secure loads, Sometimes they'll even have some people in a car following you, or SUV or a car or whatever, following you everywhere to make sure you're staying on course and not doing everything you're supposed to do. In fact, with those team loads, they even have a rule that if you're stopped somewhere, only one of you can be away from the truck at any time. One of the drivers always has to stay with the load at all times for security reasons. They take it seriously. So, but I'm a solo driver. The only time I've ever done loads like that was when I was running team or trainee kind of loads, truck, whatever, where we could run team speed. And yeah, you can't even stop for fuel or whatever, or a nap or whatever until you're at least 200 miles away. They might even tell you to go further depending on the agreement there. Why are we doing 28 and a 45? Historic Carson House. Happy Pappy's RV Park. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting area here though. Kind of real scenic. It's one thing I do like about North Carolina. There's a lot of trees and it's scenic to me. I tend to like the Virginias mostly when it comes to the east. Checking out the scenery here actually a little bit as we are. Okay, yeah, we're almost to what's that other US highway, 221 or whatever the hell that highway is, I don't remember. But yeah, we're going to be hitting an junction up here, and we're going to head, make a left as you see there on the map. And head up that way. I'm going to need to get a washout first. There is a truck stop with a washout place right across the highway from where Baxter is at. So I didn't wash out earlier for that reason, because I did a little bit of scouting. I did see on the Google reviews, I guess they expect to see a DOT inspection decal on your truck that has a legible date on it that was within the last year. Why that's an issue, I don't know. I'd never heard of a customer caring about whether a truck has that or not. We're supposed to be running with those anyway. You can actually get put out of service for not having your DOT done if it's expired. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe they've had some experiences. You have to wonder, if they have that kind of rule, it seems pretty stupid. They probably have it because somebody did something stupid. And more likely, yeah, they probably have people running their loads who are running with expired DOT decals or whatever, and are getting, yeah, it is Highway 221, I was right. Okay, yeah, the next light. Yeah, this is definitely it. I see the signs there. Okay, I was going to say I'll wait for the light to turn green, but it just did. So now the question is, will Lollygag and Pickup up there, did he get moving fast enough? Yeah, he did. Okay. Really fast enough. Alright. So, something we can talk about now is truck stop safety and speeding. I know, it's like, yeah, I'm not here for a safety briefing. Okay, well, guess what? I almost got hit by somebody this morning, at the truck stop that I was parked at before I went to deliver my previous, at the end of the final drop earlier this morning. I'm at the Loves in Moshame, Tennessee. For those of you guys who are familiar with it. Moshame is, or Moshame, however you pronounce it, is on Interstate 81, not quite halfway between I-40 and the Virginia line. It's exit 30, and it's 75 miles of I-81 in Tennessee before you get to Virginia, so if that helps. Now, those of you guys who are familiar with Moshame, no shame, whatever. As soon as you get into the parking lot, right there on the right side, basically right on the side of the tire shop that's furthest from the store and the fuel island and all that, that's where I was parked. And everybody comes in and out through that side there as well. And it's early in the morning. It's like 3:15 in the morning. And nobody's coming from the left originally. I see a truck that was coming from the fuel island coming at me to... actually, no, they just came out of the tire shop. I just watched them come out of the tire shop. They turned around and were on their way back out to the exit. And I'm waiting for him to go by me. And I'm getting ready to go across the lane behind him. And as I'm starting to, I'm starting to walk, I'm, getting ready to clear him. All of a sudden, I see this flatbed driver over by the entrance doing like at least 15 miles an hour through the lot. And he was coming up fast where if I hadn't stopped, he would have probably ran me over if he didn't bother to slow down. And it didn't look like he was going to slow down for me. And so I ended up stopping. I think he actually did start to slow down briefly, but because I wasn't looking his way originally because I'd already looked that way once before the other truck went by me. And I didn't see anybody there. And that's how quickly this guy came into the lot and became an issue. Slow your asses down. What the fuck do you need to be driving that fast in a truck stop parking lot for? A truck stop is not like a regular car parking lot. If you're in a regular car parking lot, cars, SUVs, whatever, okay, you can see through, if there are people walking, there's a good chance if it's cars that they're by, they're probably taller than the car. And even if they're not, you can probably see them through the vehicle's windows, to some degree. The truck is a lot different story though. We're 13.5 feet high, and a big, huge, gigantic blind spots. And, even someone 7 feet tall can be walking by a truck, and you're not going to see them until they're already up by the front half of the truck, up past the A-pillar at the very least. The A-pillar is this right here, by the way, if you guys aren't familiar. And, it kind of pissed me off. He came up in the fuel island, and I was about half tempted to come up to him and ask him what the fuck he thinks he's doing, driving that fast. But knowing me, I'm like, I might escalate the situation, and I'm trying not to because I know how I can be. It'd be better off that I just not escalate at all, but at the same time, I wanted to. What the hell you got to be driving that fast for through there? And where you have to slam on your brakes to react to me crossing in front of you. And don't forget that pedestrians have the right of way. So when there's a pedestrian trying to cross in front of you in a parking lot, you are supposed to be stopping for them, yielding to them. It's different on a highway right here. If you're not in a crosswalk, then you don't have the right of way. But when you're in a parking lot, pedestrians have the right of way. And so, not happy. And, speaking of with truck versus pedestrian situations, I've had some others too. I had one, actually I was the driver, where I've actually had close calls with other drivers, even when I'm going very slowly. I had one that was actually even on one of my vlogs that was from a few months ago when I was delivering in the Phoenix area. I think I was delivering to Costco or something in Tolleson. Yeah, you guys can look that up. But early in that video, you can see I stopped at the QT that's over there off of Loop 202 on Buckeye Road. And this guy comes gets out of his truck, starts walking right across my lane at the same time I'm coming into the lane. I'm not going very fast, but he still went right across, not paying a damn bit of attention. I could have hit him. If I was not paying attention to him, you never know. Because I actually had another time where I did almost hit a guy in the fuel island at the Flying J in Jamestown. Because while I'm slowly coming up at 1 or 2 miles an hour, and I'm looking in my mirror trying to line up my truck with the fuel dispenser. And what happens? Freaking dumb shit next to me, in the truck next to me, comes out and it just goes zipping right across from the divider thing, straight across the front of my truck. Has not even a clue in the world that I'm coming into there. And, I probably came within about a foot of hitting him. He didn't even flinch. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? How do you not notice that? Are you trying to get hit? That's how that happens. And then I had another time when I was the pedestrian myself, walking back to my truck when I was with Sierra England. I just remember it was at a TA. I don't remember where. But I had from there, I walked from the building straight across the fuel island. And then on the other, straight across from the fuel island, on the other side of it was where my truck was parked. Now, I'm walking across. I'm already through the fuel island, but just barely through it. I see 2 trucks coming down the lane from the right going toward the left. Well, the exit was over here to my left. The first guy, I didn't know what he was going to do. But the second guy, I saw him coming into the lot when I first came in about half an hour prior. So I figured the second guy, there was a pretty good chance he was on his way out the lot, but I wasn't sure. First guy, I definitely wasn't sure. But first guy, he ends up making a left turn to come into the fuel island, but he wasn't a threat to me at all. He was going like 2 or 3 lanes over from me, and even button hooking, it wasn't a problem for me. Problem there, though, is I recognized there was a hazardous situation. What was the hazard? That second guy, who I saw coming in earlier, was coming in behind, basically coming around the back side of his trailer, first guy's trailer, while he was turning. And the second guy's going straight to go around the first guy. And now, meanwhile, I see what's going on there. He cannot see me, but I know that he's there. Or at least I don't know that he saw me. I know for sure I saw him, but I had no way to know for sure if he even really saw me at all. So I stopped dead in my tracks and stopped and kept watching. What did this guy do? I was waiting to see if he was going to keep going all the way over to the exit or if he was going to turn into the fuel island on the other side. And if he was going to come into the fuel island, it was going to be a safety hazard for me. There was a chance I was going to get ran over. What happens? The guy ends up making a left turn to come into the fuel island. And now I'm like dead stopped. And I see this guy coming right at me, looking straight through the center of his freaking windshield. And I'm watching, looking right at the guy. And he's got his eyes glued to the fuel lane that he was targeting. Had no freaking idea that he was going to run me over. His truck, had he kept his truck on the trajectory it was on, I was definitely going to get hit. So I took off running off to my left side to get out of the way. And another one of those, man, I was seriously tempted to go head up to him and say, cuss him out for not paying attention and almost running me over and stuff. And I was like, I better not, because I know my temper. It's better to just let it go. Maybe the guy saw me running off and realized he was being stupid. Hopefully, I'd like to think that was the case. And maybe a lesson learned. But too many people who don't learn the lesson. And I also wonder, though, if a lot of these problems have a lot to do with this. Auto shift. Because when you're in a manual, more likely you're just going to, or at least for me, when I'm in a truck stop parking lot, I'm going to stay in my previous truck, my Peterbilt. It was a 10-speed manual. I'd be more likely to just stay in third, maybe fourth gear at most, but usually about third. Might go into fourth, but definitely no higher. And it doesn't matter what the RPM I'm running at. I'm going to just go ahead and keep it there. And if I'm running at higher, if I run at a little higher RPM and lower gear, it'll give me the impression that I'm going fast enough as well. And, you know, and then I had another time where I was getting ready to set up to back into a parking spot. Where was I at? Might have been on I-70 in Indiana or something, or I don't know. But I went to park in this spot. All right, so this light up here, this light that's coming up here on the right is Baxter. If we turn left, there'll be that truck stop thing over here. So I'm gonna come over here first. Yeah, here's a small truck stop, and in fact, when you, I guess when you check in over here, they actually will tell you to bobtail over to here and wait while your trailer's dropped on. You know, there's actually a hearse buck over here too. Okay, so they got barbecue here too. Cool. Okay, now where do I go for washout? Because I heard they got washout here. Is it that building over there? Oh, washouts. I see. Okay. Yeah, this dumpster right here says washouts, and I see that pit thing right there. So I guess you can just back right into it. I guess they charge $35 from what the reviews say. It's a good price for a washout, by the way. And the reviews of this place also say that they're really friendly too, so that's always a plus too. I'm gonna guess I need to open my doors first. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Alright, guys, so I need to get the drive tires more to the left to get the trailer harder over to that side. Squaring up here, yeah, it looks pretty good. Come on. I want more over this way before I square up so I can double check that the right side is, oh yeah, we got plenty of room there. Alright, I was concerned about that, so alright. Oh, there's a guy right there getting ready to do it too. Alright. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this paid for, and I'm gonna double check if I can even check in right away at my shipper or whatnot. I'm not due for pickup until later this afternoon though. Alright guys, we're done washing out here. Yeah, it was $35. Both the guys here are friendly. Was older man with gray hair, and the younger guy that you might have seen doing the washout. The younger guy, I guess, apparently he used to work here at Baxter. Shut up. I'm not going to hit my own trailer, dumbass. Alright, so my first time ever here, I thought I was going to be live loading. So I just kind of came as I was. And I just called the shipper just because out of curiosity, how early can I show up and bring my trailer with me or whatever. And she asked for my pickup number. And when I give it to her, she said, "Oh, your load's ready to go now, and we'll take your trailer as soon as you can get it here because we need it for another load." Loaded inbound trailers. Okay. Truck empty. Okay, 3 are loaded, lanes 3 and 4 for empty, okay. Alright, let me figure out how this works here. Alright guys, we're going to slide our tandems. And Okay, so the other thing is the guy who was washing me out, he was telling me that they basically do IV bags here. So, not exactly pharmaceuticals, but I guess you'd call it that in a way. But yeah, he says it's, you know, I think their load runs in the 60-something temp range, which sounds pretty consistent with the pharmaceuticals that I used to do. All trucks, okay. So do I need to wait for... Yeah, you know, he's getting ready to get back in his truck anyway. So yeah, I'll just wait on him to get out of his truck. Do not go past this sign until you have checked in at the office for instructions. Side axles to the rear before dropping in yard. Apparently Ozark does a fair amount here. About half the trailers I see over here in this first line are Ozark trailers. Who else? Cargo transporters, or also known as CTI, I think is what they can be called. I see a Swift, a couple containers. I can't tell what those are down there by the end next to that Ozark. Oh, is he going to end up waiting for these ladies to walk across now? Yep. Okay. Man, this axle temp thing is driving me nuts. But that's one of those, it's not stopping me from running. Nobody's going to know about it. And I know it's a bad sensor on the rear differential because I can see it fluctuating like it does. Alright, I'm going to get checked in and figure out what to do next. Alright guys, we are checked in. This is a really freaking fast and easy and simple check-in process, but okay, now I guess there is another guard shack we'll go through, but it sounds like you just kind of scan there's a barcode on the back of the VOL that you gave me, and you just scan it at that other shack, and I guess it'll let me into the yard. At the top of the screen is where we're in that lot way down there on the end of the lot. That's where we're going to drop our empty. Our loaded should also be over in that area from what she's saying. I see a JCT trailer right there. Let me I didn't even look to see what trailer number I'm here to grab. It is 42,000 pound load. Okay, here's the other. Kind of weird. Oh, it's opening automatic. Yeah, I was gonna say this should be. Yeah, this decal here, the barcode on it. That's what we use to get through that other guard shack, from what I understand. Okay, so I'm gonna go across the public road to get over here. 6324. Which trailer am I looking for? I don't know. Oh, 20551 it looks like. Okay, yeah, so it's not manned here. I guess we just scan this on the way in, grab our trailer, and then scan it back out on the way back out, and that's it. Let's see. Scanner shot. All right, go inside the gatehouse to scan. Okay. Yeah, so far everybody here seems pretty friendly though. The girl in the guard shack seemed like especially a bit of a sweetheart. A young, kind of, I don't know, young to middle-aged Asian lady. Okay, so what was it, 20551? Yeah, 20551. Alright, so maybe we'll find a spot right next to our loaded and then just do a quick little shuffle thing, whatever, and then get out of here pretty quickly. See a reefer right next to that Ozark truck, but no, that's a JCT. I mean, obviously I can pull JCT trailers, but I know with that that front end, it's definitely not mine. Because 20551 is going to be one that actually has a Hirschbach badge on it. I see, yeah, I see a Hirschbach logo trailer up here, up on the left. Oh, there's another one right there, but that's not mine. 20789, 20506. See another one up on the right. Yeah, that's it right there. Okay, I think we have enough room to do a U-turn setup, and there is room right next to that trailer, so let's give it a try. Oh, that's tight. No, that's not. Man, I could get it done there, but it was a riskier type of setup there. Mainly the risk was me hitting my cab extenders with the trailer because it's turning so tight. Now the tandems were further forward. Might not have been quite as risky a move, but because the tandems are back, it's a lot easier to hit the side of the tractor making a hard turn like that than if you're pulling with the tandems more forward. Yeah, it looks like I'm on the concrete pad there. That's what I was looking for, is to make sure I was going to be on the pad. Okay, let me get back in and get this trailer dropped and pre-trip the other one. I think it's unlatched. Wasn't super pronounced noise, but I think I heard it. Yes. So is it a dry load then? Because it looks to me like this reefer unit's not running. A lot of times pharmaceutical type loads run at 60 to 65 degrees. So I'm gonna have to double check the BOL, make sure that I know whether it needs to be running or not. Store at 77 Fahrenheit. Alright guys, we are done pre-tripping. Everything looks good. Now we'll go check out. We're going to go out that same scanner booth thing and do the same thing. Scan out, and it'll know we've left with it. And also, in the shipping office, I noticed they also have a sign in there reminding people to actually visually inspect the fifth wheel latch. Apparently they get a lot of drop trailer incidents here. And so they have rules like that because people don't follow their own rules that they're supposed to be following, which is visually inspect your fifth wheel. Don't do a tug test to check that you're latched. You can do a good tug test and still drop your trailer because it might just be the friction between your fifth wheel and the apron, like especially if it's not very well lubed. That could be keeping the trailer attached to the tractor. So always get out and look, and don't crawl underneath and double check that it's actually latched in the lock position properly. All right, so guess it'll be. I'm gonna go ahead and scale it across the street. We have basically a load right, whatever you call it, system on this trailer, where it'll tell you right there what it thinks what weight is on the trailer axles. But the trailer was kind of sitting downward like this, the back end of it downward a little bit, so it's going to naturally be heavier in that kind of position. And it actually was indicating it's closer to 36,000 pounds. Now, that's at the California hole. I do have about 3 feet or so back that I can go, so if that is an issue, depending on how far over, I can work with it. Most of these states here in the east have a 41-foot kingpin to center of axle group limit, which is 43 to the rear axle. So I have 3 feet to work with, and about 750 pounds per foot would put me around 2,200 pounds would be coming off if I were right at the limit. So even if I really am at 36,000, should be right where I need to be weight legal. Alright guys, finally got this figured out. Okay, so apparently, there's this tag here. You gotta stamp both it and the one on the back of your bills in order to get that thing to open up for you. I was doing only the one on the back of the bills, and it wasn't working, and it took me a bit to figure out. I know she said something about the tag over there, but I thought she was just using it as an example or something along that line, so I was kind of confused there. Okay, so we're going to make a lift. I'm going to go ahead and scale it over here at this place right where we were just at. I don't know, I might even grab me a bite to eat there, try that barbecue food out there. I don't know, it's a pretty small place, and I might try to get running a little bit, figure out. Either way, I'm gonna end the video over here at this place. We can call it a day and make sure we're skilled okay. Well, not a bad place overall, I would say. Yeah, everybody here seems pretty friendly. No real issues. It's just kind of learning curve, trying to figure out how they do things. And I just want to make sure my tandems are set right, so I can get rolling without any problems. Alright, so now we'll go see how this scale works. Looks like it's an individual axle scale from what I can tell. Obviously, my truck's not going to fit on that entire thing. Okay, he's waving me forward, and I'll get our drives on there. Okay. Alright, so we're good to go here. Well, I don't know my weights yet, but I'm going to go ahead and get parts. We'll go ahead and end the video here, and pay for the scale ticket. Well, I assume that I'll have to pay for it, and hopefully everything's hunky-dory. Might try out this barbecue place here too. I don't know. It doesn't really look like a food place, so I'm a little more inclined to not eat it. Maybe I'm wrong though. Anyway, all right. I guess I will call this one a day. Right. As always, thanks for hanging out. For those of you guys who stayed through the entire video. Alright, so I guess we'll see you guys on the next one. So actually, by the way, this is going to Omaha, Nebraska. It's delivering on the 11th, and they're at, I think, Cardinal Health, if I remember right. Alright, so we'll see you guys later. We'll see you guys in Omaha on the next one. Peace.